On September 15, 1963, a quiet Sunday morning in Birmingham, Alabama, turned into one of the darkest chapters in American history. The 16th Street Baptist Church stood tall as a place of faith, hope, and community.
But on that day, its walls would bear witness to an unspeakable act of violence that forever changed the course of the civil rights movement. Picture the church on that morning, the sun spilling through stained glass windows, the voices of children echoing
in the halls as they prepared for Sunday service.
For many African American families, this church wasn't just a building, it was a safe haven, a meeting place where
leaders had rallied the fight for equality.
At 10:22 a.m., an explosion ripped through the church. The blast was so powerful that it shook the city blocks around it, shattering glass and filling the streets with dust and debris.
When the smoke cleared, the truth was devastating. In the silence that followed, the community was faced by an unbearable loss.
The attack left a profound emptiness that shook the entire community.
The world mourned.
But for Birmingham's black community, this was not only grief, it was a bitter reminder of the violence they had endured for decades.
For them, the bombing wasn't random.
It was part of a long chain of intimidation by the Ku Klux Klan and others, determined to crush the civil rights movement. At the time, Birmingham was often called Bombingham because of the sheer number of racially motivated attacks.
Homes, churches, and meeting places for activists had been targets before.
But this bombing, with innocents as the victims, struck a chord so deep that it shocked even those who had looked away until then.
News of the bombing spread across the nation and around the world.
The faces of those 4 girls appeared in newspapers everywhere, putting an undeniable spotlight on the deep injustices. Leaders in the movement seized this moment to demand change.
This tragedy ignited greater urgency for civil rights legislation.
It took years, even decades, for justice to come. The men responsible were known members of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yet, due to corruption and the climate of racism at the time, they weren't immediately held accountable.
Some would only face trial many years later, long after the crime. The delay itself was a painful reminder of the deep-rooted injustice the movement fought to dismantle. But here's what cannot be erased. Though their lives were tragically short, they became symbols of courage and sacrifice.
Their story galvanized a movement.
Versant. Less than a year later, in 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed, a law that began dismantling segregation in schools. In a heartbreaking way, their loss gave the movement a new fire that could not be extinguished. Today, the 16th Street Baptist Church still stands, not just as a building of worship, but as a monument to resilience.
Visitors from around the world come to honor the memory of those lost and to reflect on the cost of freedom.
Their names echo through history as a reminder of both the cruelty of hatred and the strength of a community that refused to be broken.